Darkeset Dungeon 2 map guide. All map interactions, everything you need to know about traversing the maps with your stagecoach, every single interaction, what it does, and how you're supposed to pick your route. Let's not waste time, let's go. Let's start from the Hoarder. You're supposed to go to the Hoarder, this small icon over here, once you got enough relics and bubbles. Relics to buy some combat and in items, and bubbles to buy some trinkets or stagecoach items. You are not supposed to go for the Hoarder if you're out of currency, so don't make the mistake. See where the Hoarder is, you got money, go for it, you don't, avoid it. It's simple as that. The next one would be cash, or better to say academic cash. Academic cash is always worth going for, because academic cash can give you all items in a game. Food, combat, in items, trinkets, like everything that exists, it's a random roll. It's always worth going for it. It's extremely valuable. Try to go for those academic caches. Where I'm standing right now would be the Watchtower. Watchtower is your scouting. Scouting is important later on. Once you develop a bit, you should not suppose, if you're a newcomer, you're not supposed to go for the Watchtower. You're supposed to chase hero shrines, objectives, and so on. Watchtower is once you level up a bit, and then you can exploit and use a Watchtower to gain that speed from buffs. Okay, passive buffs in the Altar of Hope and so on. If you're a beginner, just avoid the Watchtower. The next one would be the Oasis. Same, I can say, like I said for the Watchtower. If you're a beginner, you want to avoid Oasis. Oasis is there once you leveled up things in your altar, okay? So you can get 3 flasks to remove stress plus 1 extra. Till then, you should avoid Oasis. It's a waste of time. You're better off hunting candles than going for Oasis. Oasis is extremely useful, especially on infernal runs. And now we come to the Creature's Den, or how I like to call it, Monster's Den. Creature's Den, this icon over here, this is probably the most important thing in the game, and I've spent a lot of hours in the game, so trust me when I say it, it is the most important. It gives mastery points, it gives discounts, it clears stress, it gives a lot of cool items. Like Creature's Den, when you see it, you go for it. What's the problem? The problem is there are 2 phases of monsters in Creature's Den. How you resolve it with the right team composition and with right combat items. Most of the creatures in Creature's Den, no matter the map, they got dodge and armor. If you got bombs and if you got heroes that deal AoE damage, to remove dodge and armor in the first round, when they spawn, you won't have any problems. If you go in there without those 2 that I said, you'll probably end up dead. So be careful what you're doing in a Creature's Den. Again, this is one of the best encounters in the game once it rolls on a map. Now once you see this academic study will give you a positive quirks, negative quirks, random quirks, trinkets, or it can give you boss fight against the Shambler. So academic study is extremely good, and it can also backfire. So this is like full risk and reward encounter. Every time when you see academic study, it's a full risk and reward. How would I rate academic study? Great to get, like, if you're a beginner, to try and go for like 1 or 2 on the entire run. If you play on infernal, you should get every single one. That's how it is with the academic study. For newcomers, I would definitely say avoid if you can. The next one would be this hands over here, better to say assistance encounter. Assistance encounter provides food, provides trinkets, supplies, combat in items, okay? And what's most important, it provides flame. This one, it ain't that important for newcomers in terms of flame, because you can buy flame in stores, and if you know how to play, you'll never run out of flame, especially on radiant runs. Okay, once the torch is like this. If the torch is blue, and if it is the infernal run where the torch goes off faster, then assistance encounters matter. I would say you can go for 1 or 2 assistance encounter per map on radiant, if at all, and you will need 2+ assistance encounter on infernal runs. The LAIR is where the boss is, boss of the map. There are 4 main maps in a game, and there are 4 main map bosses in the game. Okay, the librarian, fish, the stinky guy, and over here on this map we got the general. Boss fight encounter consists out of 3 combats in a row. What does it mean? One tip for the fight: once you decide to go for it, you should always go once you have at least around 6 to 10 mastery points. The other thing is, you can go, but do not spend combat items once you're in there in the first 2 fights. You need to conserve your combat items for the actual boss, because he spawns on a 3rd phase. And you'll need to learn what boss gives what. For example, the general over here, if you like your characters to be immobilized, he gives immobilized trinket or minus 75% discount on all trinkets. Every boss gives a specific boss head, or better to say boss trophy, that once you apply it on your stagecoach over here in the trophies, it gives a specific passive. What boss LAIR also does is reduce loathing for the beginners. You are supposed to completely avoid the LAIR, and that's the most important thing. You do not need to do the LAIR in denial to reach the final confession boss in the game. Okay, there are mini bosses, or better to say map bosses, and there is a confession boss. So once you play chapter 1 denial, you do not need to go into the LAIR ever. You can completely avoid the LAIR. You don't care about it. Once you start with chapter 2, once you accumulate some candles and some upgrades, then you can consider going for the boss. I would advise to avoid the boss on a map 1. If you're to do the boss, you're gonna do it on map 2 or 3, and even better if Bounty Hunter is available. The good thing about the boss LAIR is that it reduces loathing, and it gives a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of resources, a lot of relics, a lot of bubbles, very good trinkets plus the trophies. So yeah, it is the most rewarding encounter in the game on the map. Speaking about loathing and how boss removes loathing, when you see on the road this interactions Oblivion tear and it says +1 loathing. Loathing is the thing that accumulates over here. It says what chapter you're in. Cowardice chapter 5. I'm speaking now for the newcomers. Once it says chapter 1 denial, okay, this is the loathing parts. Once the loathing goes to the 4, okay, once you accumulate 4 loathing, the boss will get stronger, confession boss. So it is very important that you remove loathing. You can remove loathing in many different ways. You can clear creatures, then you can clear boss LAIR, and now we come to this, you can go and clear resistance encounters. Alright, resistance encounters or Oblivion's Ingress. On Oblivion's Ingress, there's always cosmic enemies, the most powerful enemies in a game. On resistance encounter are mobs that are specific for the map you're currently playing in. What resistance encounter offers? It offers mastery points, it offers relics and bubbles, and it reduces loathing. Take control of your loathing. Once you start the map, pick your route smart. I told you what it does with resistance encounter and with Oblivion Ingress encounters, how it reduces loathing, and you should balance, okay? You can. Now, speaking about balancing, there's wheels on your stagecoach and there's armor on your stagecoach that you can repair once you reach the inn. You got 3, okay, later on you can get 5 wheels and 5 armor. For the starters, for the newcomers, you got 3 and 3. So once the map starts, you can tell where is -1 wheel, you can tell when there is a barricade, you can tell when there is loathing, and you can tell when there is armor hazard, where you're gonna damage your armor. So pick smart. You start and then you plan your route. You do not just go and plan along the way. When you start, you stop and then you say, I'm gonna go to the Hoarder. After the Hoarder, I'm gonna go to the Watchtower. After that, I'm gonna go to the monsters den, and then you count how much wheels you're gonna lose, how much armor you're gonna lose, how much loathing you're gonna gain, and how much loathing you will remove along the way. Play smart. Calculate. Just calculate your route and you won't have any problems. When does the problem occur? Once you just press everywhere, alright? You don't even look at the road. Oh, you see academic cache and now you're gonna go for the academic cache. And you don't care about the roadblocks. You're gonna remain out of wheels, you're gonna trigger loathing, you're gonna fail the map. So pick smart. It's not always good to go for the most rewarding encounter. Sometimes it's smarter to avoid the most rewarding encounter if it's gonna save you some armor and wheels. Or better to say, if it's gonna make you arrive safe in the end. The main objective of the map is to reach from the gate to the end. That's the main objective. And for the newcomers, the most important objective are the candles. Okay, candles and hero shrines. Now speaking about hero shrines, let's speak about hero shrines and go to the hero shrines. So hero shrines. Hero shrines, this is the icon you will spot on a map. This is how encounter looks like. The bell. That bell, when you see it on a map, that's the most important thing for a newcomer. What does it do? It unlocks skills for your characters. For all characters. You need to, for the character, each character needs to find 5 hero shrines to unlock all skills in the game. The starting skills is what you'll get when you unlock a hero, these 5. The rest, the 6 of them, you unlock 4, like this, with 4 hero shrines, and the less hero shrines unlocks 2 skills at once. Once you have all of these on every character, then you can properly play the game. So the only thing that you care on a map is the bell icon. Okay, as a newcomer, this is the most important thing. How much candles you can accumulate, how many bell icons you can find to max out those skills as fast as you can, or better to say, to unlock those skills as fast as you can. This is #1 priority. If you have all of those, of course, and you go with infernal runs, hero shrine is the least important encounter on the map, or better to say, it's completely useless. Once you see the cross over here, hospital, this would be the last encounter on the map. What does the hospital do? The hospital offers healing. You can buy healing, you can remove diseases, you can remove negative quirks, you can lock in positive quirks, and you can buy some very special and unique healing trinkets. Hospital is always important. I would recommend visiting the hospital once you got like around 50 or so relics to remove a negative quirk or 2, especially for beginners. I'll repeat once again, roadblock, barricade can offer loot when you go for it. Wheels, armor, and loathing remains intact. Once you go through loathing, loathing rises, then you need to do resistance encounter, LAIR, or Oblivion's Ingress to remove loathing. Even creature then does the job. If you go through wheels, you're gonna lose a wheel. If you go through hazard, you're gonna lose armor. The point is to reach the inn, as short as that. Just calculate right from start, the gate, to finish, and you won't have any problems. If you got any problems to understand everything that I was saying right now, you can find like 50 victory runs on my channel for every chapter on both Radiant Torch and Infernal Torch. Depends what you like to see, what boss you like to see, what map you like to see, what team composition you would like to see. Everything is on my channel, and the easiest way to learn how to play this game is to watch one full run and see what I'm actually doing. Now, you remember in my Altar of Hope guide how I said that the most important upgrades for candles would be Journey and Resourcefulness. Resourcefulness gives bonuses to map encounters, extremely important if you wanna advance in a game fast and if you wanna have success victory runs. So every time when you arrive at the Valley Inn, once the game starts, you're gonna receive an extra relics and bubbles. Very important. Location and route scouting, so you can find those hero shrines, especially for newcomers, faster. This is very useful. A reduction on a stagecoach repair costs. This is how you repair your wheels and armor. Once you arrive at a Hoarder, every time when you arrive at a Hoarder, you will receive plus 12 relics. Extremely important upgrade, especially once you find the Hoarder on a roadmap. You're gonna get rich fast. Once you arrive at the Academic's cache, you get a free random item. So on top of all the items that Academic cache gives, you're gonna receive a free bonus item, very important. Now this is a wealth upgrade from the previous one where you're gonna receive 20 bubbles on addition to 12 relics once you reach the Valiant. Now I said that once you reach the hospital you can remove negative quirks, lock in positives, buy some gear and so on, but once you upgrade Resourcefulness here and once you get Century, all heroes will heal for 10% of HP and they will remove 1 stress when they reach the hospital. Extremely important. When you arrive at any inn, you will receive a free random inn item for more buffs during the respite. Very good. The next one is again better scouting. The next one is even better reduction on the stagecoach repair costs. And now we go to curiosity. When you reach those academic studies, I already told you that they're very useful for experienced players, and once you got this as a newcomer and once you upgrade curiosity, then you can start hunting academic studies for trinkets to receive a random combat item as a bonus. Now what I said for Oasis, now it comes over here. Oasis, we're gonna go to Oasis once we got refreshment to get that mineral rich spring water that can heal 10% of HP and remove 3 points of stress. This would be the mineral rich spring water. Now you get the point why I say avoid Oasis as a newcomer. You need an upgrade to receive this thing. And the last one is the Watchtower, where all heroes will receive +1 speed until the next inn. This can fuck you up or it can help you out. It depends on your trinkets. If you got trinkets that give passive bonuses of speed less than 2, for example, then this Watchtower can really destroy your run. Why? Imagine that you got speed out of 2 and you visit the Watchtower. Now you have speed out of 3. That means that if you have this trinket equipped, you will lose the chance for extra action, because you need speed out of 2, 1, 0 to actually receive extra action. Pay attention on your trinkets before visiting Watchtower. Basically, what makes the map guide and map runs easier is the upgrade of Journey, fully upgraded Journey, and fully upgraded Resourcefulness, the 2 most important upgrades. What you wanna go for as a newcomer are hero shrines and candles. Everything else doesn't matter until you max this out. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.